I wanted to give the disclaimer at the beginning of the video that it is very tough for me to win the game. So I can't promise you I'll win. So I'll say it now. Hey everyone, this is Solitaire back with another video for the Solitaire print-to-play game design contest currently hosted on Board Game Geek. Today I will be playing through Lawn Party by Michael Ursig. I hope that I pronounced that name correctly. If not, please correct me, Michael. You might recognize this name because I played through the game they entered last year into the contest, which is Cave In. I played through that even twice. And just a few weeks ago, I think, I played through it the second time, so you might recall that name. And again, just like Cave In, we are here looking at an 18 card game. So something very handy and practical again. So I suggest before we get started, let me just quickly set up the game. Alright, and that already is the setup of the game. I think the exposure is fine. I might have to change it later on if need be. So, what we have here is like our little grid that we were working on. This is like the grass, so to speak, right? So, the idea is that our lawn party is a week away. That's why the game is called that way. But you see, as you can see here, the lawn is nowhere near ready, right? So we don't have a whole lot of time because we only have 1 week left here. We have Sunday today, and until Saturday we need to get everything in order here. So we need to mow everything, but we need to be a little bit careful because we want to bring the place into shape. So we want a short, neat lawn, but also like well-curated wildlife, right? So then we have that we have an outdoor space that is pleasing to our guests. We win when we end the game on the last day. That's Saturday, the 7th day, and our wildlife score is higher than the lawn score, or the grass score. So what that means is right now we have a lawn score of 36 because you see here the 4 at the top, and that times 9, right? So that's a lawn score of 36. That is not good. So we need to mow the grass to lower the grass score, right? So that the grass is shorter. That will look like this, for example, here, like you can see on that card, right? So that's the grass score of 2, and that would be a 1. But that needs to be less than the wildlife score. And the wildlife score is whatever is said here under scoring conditions. So there can be snails and flowers and mushrooms under the grass when we mow it. But there can also be rocks. Rocks, if we mow down the grass to level 2, then it's fine. Then we see the rocks, but they don't actually hurt the lawnmower, so to speak, right? They're not negative points. But if we mow down to 1, then stones actually, or rocks actually do hurt the lawnmower and deduct points. And then we need to see at the end of the game, we need to see our grass score, of course, but also the wildlife score. So, for example, we get +2 per snail and +1 per adjacent mushroom. Okay, so we want snails and mushrooms adjacent to each other. Then we get +2 per flower, but -2 per adjacent snail. So we don't want flowers and snails together, right? We get +3 for mushrooms and -2 for flowers. So we don't want flowers and mushrooms together. So essentially we don't want flowers beside anything else but flowers, right? So that is pretty much the goal of the game. But how is it played? Well, let me show you. So first of all, we have like 3 phases per round. The first phase is always to advance the day, which we will not do now because we will start on Sunday. Then the next phase is always the growing the grass. So all lawn cards that are level 1 to 3 will be advanced to the next level. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4. And whenever we advance from 3 to 4, then we will remove those cards from the game, but we will we put them open up here in the display so we can actually take a look at what has been removed from the game. Right, so at the moment everything is at 4, so nothing grows, right? Only levels 1 to 3, which makes sense. And then the third phase is mowing the grass. So we twice a day, so we can mow like 1 line of grass. So either one of these 3 lines or one of these 3 lines, and we do that twice, right? We can either mow down to 2 or to 1. Since it grows every round, of course, we want to mow down to 1, essentially, because then we can keep the cards we want to keep in our grid here to get the points. But if we mow down to 1 and we uncover a rock, then that's bad for us, right? So let me mow down to 2 for now. Let me just mow down these 2 horizontal rows here and see what happens. So let's start with this one. I will mow down to 2, right? So I will just turn them over like this, and then we can take a look at what we have. So we don't want that, for example, right? We don't want these beside each other because these give us 2 negative points, and because they're besides the flowers here, right? Adjacent to these flowers. So we really don't want that. So that was my first mowing action, and then I will also take the row below that. So you see, had I mowed this down to 1, then we would have heard our lawnmower, so to speak, and we would have to place the rock here, which deducts 1 point at the end of the game. We don't want that. Oh, and another rock. And another rock. Okay, I've never had that before. I've never had anything like that before. That is pretty crazy. Okay, that was already day 1. It's really quick. And now we have Monday. Now everything grows back. Now, this is not a memory game, which means that everything that is a 3, right? We will now grow everything to 3, and we are allowed to look under the cards again. But essentially, I want to keep these 2 cards here, right? These 2 I want to keep. This one I don't want to keep. And these I don't want to keep either. So what I'll probably do is just mow this down to 1 next time, and this down to 2 until the rocks are gone. And then at the end I will later also mow down, like not mow down this one. So this one is gone later on too. I think that's what I want to do. So 1 and 2. Let's do it like this. Okay. Just so that I remember. And now everything goes up to 3, right? Because it's at 2. Like this, because the grass grows really fast, as you can see. Okay, and now we got the mowing phase again. So what I will do, I will turn those around again. I will mow those down to 1, I said, to 1. Like this. And the row below, we don't know the bottom row yet, so I will just mow down to 2. Oh, another rock. I think we have all 4 rocks now here. That is pretty crazy. Okay, that was Monday. Now let's go to Tuesday. Now everything will grow again. So these will all grow to 2. These ones will all grow to 4 now. That means growing to 4 means they are discarded. Face up. So we see, okay, these were all the rocks. And these will grow back down to 3. So I actually would like to keep these 2 maybe. I definitely want to keep these 2. I don't want to keep this one at all. So what I might have to do is keep this rock and maybe get that one negative point, maybe. I'm not quite sure yet. But okay, let's get these up to 3. I mean, I'm able to look at the cards anyways. Oh, and by the way, these are now empty, so we replace them with new level 4 lawn cards. Okay, so these are still okay here. So I will, I think what I will do is I will mow these to 2. Well, actually we got all the rocks, right? So we can actually mow these down to 1 as well. But then again, we don't know what will be under them, and we want them to grow a little faster maybe, right? Because Tuesday, then Wednesday they will grow 1, 2, 3. Well, we will have to mow them several times anyways. So let's mow them down to 1. Let's mow them down to 1. Because we know there can't be any rocks here, right? Because all 4 rocks, we have seen all 4 rocks like this. Okay, so we don't want the flower here, and we don't want that one. That is pretty hard to achieve, I think. Yeah, the flowers won't really help us a whole lot. That is pretty bad, but let's see what we can do. And then we need to mow one more time. Well, let's mow. I don't want the rock here, right? And I want to keep this for sure. I don't want to keep this. And I don't want to keep this. But this already is at 1. So I think what I will do is mow this one down to 1. So 1, this already is at 1. And this goes down to 1 as well, like this. Okay, Wednesday, and now everything will grow. So 3, 3, 3. Wait, no, that was 1. So that will be 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, like this. Okay, and these two will be increased to 4, so we will remove those from the game as well, and then replace them with new cards. As soon as this deck here is empty, we will have to shuffle these back in here. Okay, so now it's mowing time again. So what will I do? I think first I will lower the exposure a little bit because I think it's a little bit too bright here. I think that's a little bit better. Otherwise I will edit it in post. I will probably already have edited as I'm speaking now. Okay, so what do we do? I don't want this one, and I don't want this one here, right? So let me mow down this here to 2 for now, and that as well. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me, mow down this to 2. We don't want these adjacent really either, but okay, well, let's see how we can do that. 2, this one to 2, and this one already is at 2. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. So now everything will be increased again. So we have 3, 3, and 3, 3, 3. This one will be increased to 4, so it will be discarded. And then also here 3, 3, and 3. I hope I didn't make a mistake. It's always a little bit difficult to turn everything over to the correct number because I sometimes forget what I've already turned over and what I haven't. Okay, like this. So, one thing that I didn't want is this one here, and also I think this one, right? Oops, let me check. Yeah, it was this one. So I don't want these two. So what would make sense is to maybe mow down that and that here. Oh, by the way, I think we are on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, that's not true. We're on Thursday. So everything has grown. I said I will grow this down to 1. I would have to grow it maybe again, but let's just do it like this, 1, 1, 1. And then I will also grow this one here in the middle down to 1. That's what I will do. Okay. And yeah, that's it. Now we are on Friday. So everything will grow again. So 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. And these will all be increased to 4 and discarded. So what we will do now is, because we don't have any cards left, we will just give them a good shuffle. Let me really give them a good shuffle so we don't have all the rocks beside each other again. Let me just do it like this and like this. Okay, I spread them out a little bit because with so little cards it's kind of hard to get them really like in the spots you want them. But I think like this, it should be fine now. Okay, 4, 4, 4, and 4. I wanted to give the disclaimer at the beginning of the video that it is very tough for me to win the game. So I can't promise you I'll win. So I'll say it now. Okay, so and now we need to mow the grass again. So we want to keep all of these. It would be interesting to see what these are, right? So I think what I will do, I will mow down these 2 rows to 2, but then they would go to 3 again. Yeah, but still. And then the last one, yeah, let's do that. Let's mow them down to 2. 2, 2, okay. And then this one here as well. 2 and 2. Okay, so now we are on Saturday, but before we let everything grow, let us check what we want. We don't want this one. We don't want this one. And we don't really care for this one as well, right? So it would make sense to grow that to 1 and that to 2 because of this rock. Well, we could also grow down to 1, right? Then we would have 1 negative point, but we would get 1 less lawn score. I think that would actually be a good idea. Okay, so let's grow everything to 3. And then I will just grow the top and the bottom row. I think that's what I'm going to do. Not grow, mow I mean. Okay, like this. And what I will do now is, now I will get these down to 1. So what happens now with the rock, now I can show you because it actually happens now. I will start from the right because you can start from which side ever you want when you mow. And because I know the rock is on the left, I will mow like this, because whenever you mow grass down to 1 when there's a rock, you need to stop the mowing immediately, like in the row you are mowing right now. So had I started from the left, I couldn't have turned over these 2, right? So that's why I did it this way. And since that is a 1, I will put it here, and that is 1 negative point later on. Okay, and that already is the end of the game because we have finished the last day. And we will now calculate our scores. So let's see. So first of all, our lawn score is, we need to replace that here. Our lawn score is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 18. That is okay. It is not great, but it's not too bad. The wildlife score, now we will have to count a lot. So we get +2 for each flower, adjacent snails -2. And adjacent mushrooms, well, we do that later. So +2 per flower, -2 adjacent snails. We still have a snail here. So that is 2 points. Another 2 points, that's 4, but -2, so we are at 2 points. And then we get another 4 points here. So that is 4 points that we have so far. All right, then I should have started at the top. Then we get +2 per snail and +1 for adjacent mushrooms. We did not do that, but we get +2 for the snails, so we had 6 points. And then we get +3 for each mushroom and -2 for each adjacent flower. So we get +3 here, but -2 here, so only +1. So we only have 7 points. So we get 7 points of 18, right? We definitely needed 18 points to be able to win, but we did not do that. So yeah, that is how the game works. So you see, I did really bad again, but that is every game so far. I find it really hard to get everything to align everything with the goals you have here, because +2 per snail and +2 per flower, that is fine. That is already hard enough as it is, right? 2, 4, 6, 9, 11. I wouldn't even have 1 then. My main problem is that these adjacent cards here, these adjacent bonuses so to speak, they almost always give negative points, and this is what really messes me up when trying to play, because I think most of them really give negative points on the right here. Yeah, it's all negative points. Here's something with plus points, but negative there. Yeah, so it is really, really tough. I don't know if maybe I just was very unlucky all the time that I just got the wrong scorecards, but I'm really, really bad at the game. I'm not gonna make a secret out of that. But the main reason I wanted to showcase the game is just to showcase it to you, so you know how it works and you know that it is entered in the contest. But I'm really bad at it so far. I'm really bad at it. So I'm sure that Michael can give me a few tips on how to be a little better with the game, because I will continue playing it. All right, now on to my first impressions. I don't give reviews for the works in progress here, but my first impressions. So I do like the game a lot. I think it does have a few similarities to Cave-In, as in that you are doing something with an entire row, for example, like you were drilling in Cave-In, but it's different here. What I like is that you have pretty open information. So except for the new ones at 4, but all the other cards you know, and you don't really run a risk mowing stuff and seeing what is under there, because you can always mow to just level 2 and see what's there. That is really cool. So I like that a lot. The theme works really well because it makes sense, right? I mean, you're mowing the grass gets shorter, which is a better score for you because you want shorter grass for the party, right? And when you mow the grass, you can see underneath what is actually hiding in the grass. That all makes sense. With the rock, it also makes sense, right? At level 2, well, I don't know. I'm not a lawnmower expert. I don't know if at level 2 the stone would also hurt, but at 1 it definitely would. So the theme works very well. I like the artwork. It is simplistic, but it gets the job done, and I think it shouldn't be anything more than that. I think it's pretty much perfect for what the game is trying to be. So these are all positives. The game is quick. The rounds go by really fast, right? You just go to the next day. You turn over all the cards to the next number, and then you just mow the grass. And that's already it. So the rounds are really short. It's definitely a quicker game than Cave-In. So yes, I like the game. There are a few things that I'm not 100% sure of. So first of all, it is a little bit cumbersome to like always turn over the cards for the next round. Especially since I sometimes get a little bit confused which cards I haven't turned over yet, but that's my mistake, right? My error. I should just, my fault. I mean, I should just go from here to the right, next line. But it's a little bit cumbersome to turn all of that over, but I have no idea how you would do it differently, right? You need to do it this way, so that's completely fine. But one thing I forgot to mention that I like is you can see here, and that you have like this 1 with the down arrow and the 2 with the arrow to the side. So you know if you want to mow down to 1, you go down, and if you want to mow to the 2, you just turn it over like this. That is really well done. What I don't quite know is why it wasn't done on this side as well, right? Because if I want to go up to a 3 from the 2, I need to turn it over like this. I need to remember that, right? I wouldn't know otherwise. So that's one thing that would have been great. For the 1, you don't need it, of course, right? Because it's clear. But for the 2, would have been great to just have an arrow to the right or something. So you know, oh, turn it over like this to grow the grass. That's something that I would add, right? And apart from that, I do like the game. I still don't know how you can win this game. It must be possible, but I have no idea. There was actually an example that's really cool. Let me show that to you. So in the files on Board Game Geek, there's like an example game that they did. So you can actually look at an entire game and see how that works. Like with small text here and everything, explaining the decisions. Really cool. And in the example, they actually won, which is wonderful. So it must be possible, but I don't know how. So I will still have quite a few games I would have to play with this game. But yeah, that was my playthrough of, let me get it, of Lawn Party. Entered into the Solitaire Print and Play Game Design Contest for 2022. A game I really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. If you're still watching, thank you very much for doing so. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If this is the first one videos you're watching, why don't you head over to my channel? There are hundreds of other videos that you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this one, why don't you let me, and especially the YouTube algorithm, know that you liked it by liking, commenting, maybe even subscribing to my channel. That would be incredible. And also you can say hi to me and my small community on my Discord server. We're having quite a lot of fun over there, so it'd be great to have you there. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the very next video. Alright, take care everyone, and cheers.